Let's bring in our Wednesday Wrangle regulars, the late debate co-host Liz Storer on the desk with me, and Justin Smith, columnist, broadcaster and author, joins us from Melbourne. Let's start with you, Justin. We saw a protest on the streets of Melbourne, not as blatantly anti-Semitic as we saw in Sydney, but still calling for Palestine from the river to the sea. Still taking joy out of what has happened in Israel. What's our appropriate response to all of this?
Yeah, look, and when you're talking about those protests in the street, you're not talking about them doing this a couple of weeks ago and they're, supporting the Palestinian people. They're doing this straight after an attack from Hamas. So there is no way of looking at these protests, the one in Sydney, which was particularly bad, and the chants that we heard there, and the one in Melbourne, there's no way of looking at that without seeing it as support for Hamas. And yes, there will be innocent people that are caught up in this in Gaza that are Palestinian people. But I say this to you, those Palestinian people are also victims of Hamas. They're nothing but an atrocious, we've said it time and time again, they are nothing but an atrocious a terrorist organisation who believe, quite literally, that they have the God-given permission to wipe the Jewish people off the face of the earth. I mean, that's who we're dealing with here. So when you see these people out in the street protesting, and the timing of it, they're out there supporting Hamas. There is just no other way around it. I just don't know how these people can bloody do it.
And when it comes to those civilian casualties in Gaza, which have already started to mount, about 900 people have been killed in Gaza. We don't know how many are civilians. But mark my words, and any number of international affairs experts will back this up, that will be part of Hamas's motivation. They know they'll get a response from Israel.
Absolutely.
They know many of their own people will be killed, and they know that will drive anger across the Arab world. So it's part of their strategy, using the lives of their own civilians in that way. It is despicable. I want to come to you in a second, Liz, but before I do, I want to show you what the New South Wales Labor Premier Chris Minns had to say today to try and get back on the front foot.
The Jewish community, that I want to apologise to them, specifically on behalf of the government and myself as the Premier of New South Wales. I'm not blaming anyone for this. I'm the Premier of New South Wales. I take full responsibility for it, and we'll make decisions to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
I'm going to show you another grab first too, because that's the Premier saying this protest won't happen again. But then listen to what the police have to say today.
That I would urge anyone who was considering attending Town Hall, if they have received notification about that assembly, to monitor the situation closely. We will be doing further communications closer to the time frame once negotiations with those organisers have been resolved.
There's the Assistant Commissioner, David Hudson. Liz, so tough that they're now negotiating with the Hamas supporters about the protest. What is this?
This is unforgivable. Minns can apologise till he's blue in the face. That man watched Muslim extremists, Palestinian extremists march to an icon of Australia, not just Sydney, not just New South Wales. That footage has gone all around the world and it sent a very strong message. But that man, unlike us, watched it with riot squads at his command and did absolutely nothing. I have absolutely no time for his apologies. The message that he sent, the damage has already been done. Do you think we would have had one in Melbourne the following night if he had stomped out those embers burning on the Monday night? No, we wouldn't have. Do you think today, we'd have this story out of Bellevue Hill, which is our backyard, of someone threatening 4 youths, I will kill you if you don't take down your Israeli flag? No, it is too late. It's flown the coop. And the fact that he couldn't, When are you going to send in a riot squad, if not then? Hamas has just attacked. It has done unspeakable abductions, mutilations, murders of innocents, and you don't think that it's worth deploying a riot squad when you have hundreds, this wasn't a handful of nut jobs, hundreds of extremists marching from town hall to our icon, the Opera House, chanting "Gas the Jews." He's done the unforgivable. He's a weak man. He cannot be called a leader. Don't even let's get started with his Attorney General, who the following morning on 2GB with Ben Fordham didn't even know what had occurred.
He should have sacked that Attorney General by now, and he should have been down there with Jewish leaders at the Opera House reclaiming
it's too late. It's too late. May he forever be remembered as the New South Wales Premier who had the virtue signalling sense to light up the Opera House in support of Jews and Israeli victims.
And then
but Jews and Israelis can't come, but you can come and fly the flag of their murderers. That's fine. And chant "Gas the Jews." That's fine. I won't do anything. And what's more, Chris, were any fines handed out? Have any police been knocking on doors? Nothing. Not even a slap on the wrist.
They're trying to do that now with the videotape, but I think you're so right.
Shame.
Too late. You let the genie out of the bottle. It's too late.
100%.
Terrible stuff. It's got to be one of the most shameful episodes in our nation's history.